Yo, last night and this morning, I recorded a 5 hour, 40-minute long video. Um, and it was titled "Et Stars Cartel" and "Et Light Shield" are directly talking about my situation. And this is Stars Cartel. She's actually here in Houston or in the Houston area. And this is Light Shield. And I watched in this video, you just sat down a whole cult and you're the villain now because you're getting double. And that just goes along. You can watch the video, but it seems to be referencing the things that I say and, what is repeatedly in my story and pictures about double and whatnot, and just the situation that I'm going through. Similarly, I watched They Thought They Defeated You, prophetic word, April Fool's. That was a day after, so that's the joke, I guess. It's not actually an April Fool's, but then you got the laughing cat face. And so today, I woke up early because like a police car had driven into the neighbor's driveway, ran its siren for whatever reason, like backed up really fast and drove off. And I this is why I'm saying, like, I believe this situation is public or somewhat public, and just people have done wrong and nobody wants to get caught or be held accountable. And so I'm in this place where I've been wronged and people are unwilling to make it right because I think so many people are involved, as literally these things seem to indicate, that these other people watching. And, my suggestion is not just these people are watching, but all sorts of people. And it's kind of a situation that just nobody wants to speak up about. And I think it's empowering evil people to do evil things because I'm a type of person that just speaks truth to power or to whatever. I'm not going to shut up for other people generally. If it's Especially if it's not warranted, and here it's not warranted. Speaking up is the right thing to do. So, okay, I woke up today and in my, on my, just when you go to YouTube and it looks like this, right? And then one of the videos was in fact by Light here, and it's this one. And it says the dark secret energy is expanding within you. I can guess what this is referencing, but their delusions about you are shattering. And then you have uh, specifically this black cat emoji. And now I just wanted to confirm, I went through all of these, right? I went through each one, and if you can't see the whole thing, I hovered over it just to make sure. And while this one has the other cat emoji, this is the only one to have a black cat emoji. And this is part of the way that I'm talking about how this works, is that all this is plausibly deniable, what I'm saying, as far as people watching, not speaking up on a thing. But these are the type of people that, if people were to say I'm crazy for believing spiritual things, these people make their money by selling psychic and spiritual readings, which, it says in the Bible, test the spirits, because I don't know what's she says the Most High. I never hear her say Yahweh. I don't know if I've heard her say Jesus. So, I don't actually know who she believes the Most High is. But I've asked in that video, and specifically this video, I say, hey, if you speak to my situation, I'll compensate you. I will give you a better offer than anybody would give you ever if you just speak up with your words to end this, because it's hurting not just me, but a lot of people. Partially because I'm the type that would speak, hey, that person's getting hurt. This situation needs to be fixed. Okay. But in any instance, so what I'm asking for is what I would do for other people if you ask me, and I can see that you're asking me. And, like, prove out what you're saying to some degree, but it seems like the way that she's, these her stars is more about Jesus. And I can see it says hallelujah behind her, though there's a picture of Rihanna. And I don't know, people like stars more than they like Jesus, it seems, though Jesus is the morning star, the bright and morning star, the most, the brightest star. right? And it says at the seven churches of Asia, at the fourth church, the one that seems to be related to people doing wicked things sexually, and you creating traps, and there's a Jezebel character, a false prophetess. So when that's going on, um, and the gift is the iron rod and the morning star. Those are things only Jesus has, right? And so that's why I'm saying at the seven churches of Asia, if you conquer, it's saying you're going to either be, Jesus, or on the throne, basically on the throne of Jesus, with all equipped with all the things Jesus has, except seemingly it's suggesting maybe, who's on the throne? Jesus and Yahweh. So it seems like it's suggesting that Jesus will make you Yahweh, and you get to be his father, and he's opening the scroll in your right hand. And I'm the only person I ever heard explain it like this, and I'm definitely the only person that I can see that's going through anything that seems to be exactly like this. And with all this stuff about, a few years ago, Jeffrey Epstein, like literally, when I got thrown in jail, they threw Jeffrey Epstein in jail and Epsteined him. I don't know if that was a message to me, but like, I'm not doing that stuff. Am I? It doesn't seem like it, but it seems like I'm just trying to exist, and people don't like that. But okay. And then, so it seemed when you're like, they thought they defeated you, and in the same way, um, the stuff with Diddy that's going on, it's like, I mean, I'm just waiting for Rock Nation and Jay Z and Beyonce and Jay Electronica and all that group of people who are all just phony and whatever. I'm waiting for that to, whatever, the whole cult to just sit down and like, be actually sat down, right? And this is a volcanic situation. Like, you know, it would seem that evil people doing evil things is really pissing Yahweh off. So, and it's not making me happy. But this is my whole point with this. This is the kind of plausibly deniable way. I also went through all of them. I went all the way through the bottom. You can look at every one of these things here, and none. I didn't see any of them. Any of them have, uh, this black cat emoji that you can very clearly see in this one, right? And this is again the plausibly deniable. If you're trying to, if I've said something last night in a video and people are watching the stuff that goes in my private hard drive, or this is on YouTube, it's just not up yet, so there's no way that there should be a public whatever. If this is a spiritual thing where like literally spirits do exist, right? I believe that, but that the secular world would say something otherwise. Okay, well then, maybe this proves out there's something going on that science hasn't quite grasped yet. That knowledge, because that's the idea of science, observational knowledge has not been able to quite observe in a way that it can create theories around. Though I do actually think, in secret, people have figured out more than they're letting on. But that being said, I think the reason that she did the cat emoji is to like let me know, like, hey, yeah, we are watching, like people are watching. I mean, in the same sense that it talks about like, hey, there's a coven watching you or whatever. It's like, yeah, I know. Didn't I make in my mix like, you know, just FYI, just to make this obvious and known. Let's go back to this mix from 2014 or 2013 that I made, the Yoda mix, and then Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust and blah 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 blah. Oh, Enter the Coven. Right? Because it feels like I've entered some kind of coven, and a bunch of witches are in, people who think they're witches and wizards are whatever, and I'm like the yoker, or the Joker is trademarked, but the yoker is me, right? You get that? So, uh, like Jesus says, take my yoke, for it's easy, right? So the yoker, get it? Okay, just making sure you get this. Um, because I'm already getting struck down on the, as you can see, FIFA rejected my copyright claim. So, like, it seems like I gotta really have my own, even though it's probably my IP. Probably this stuff is being stolen from my reality to some degree, whether you believe that or not, whatever. But I think like the idea is like, all right, they're witches and wizards and stuff. And it's like, all right, well, I'm a clown, and I'm gonna clown them, and I'm gonna make them look like it's gonna look like I'm the most powerful wizard magic person or whatever. It's because I have the divine power of Yahweh because I believe in Jesus and Yahweh, and there's nothing that a witch or a wizard can do to like mess with you. And again, remember this concept of a diviner enchanter and the serpent in the garden. That word nakash for serpent is a diviner enchanter. So a serpent or a snake or a diviner enchanter is nothing but something for Yahweh to step on and crush, and it seems like I've done that, but it's envenomed me, and I have to show and prove this out so I can, it's like the anti venom is shining a light on the situation, the antidote, the antidote, right? But another thing that I'm trying to like point out here is, first of all, you got the laughing cat and the cat stuff. I'm playing into it, and because I like cats, I'm not so much a fan of dogs. So when I'm saying I want dogs, just FYI about the Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio thing, my dog ters, that's like a daughter and dog, and so they're dog ters. Get it, both of them. Um, they're my dog ters. This is how I defend myself because if I'm clowning a bunch of witches and wizards and they don't really have an answer for it, it's just like, okay, well, I've taken back my power. You get it? So and they're yoked into the situation that they've created themselves, where they've acted wrong, and where I've caught it. And in our society, I've already gotten in trouble once because I did this with the Stephanie Jewston thing, and then it it was allowed to continue for longer than it should have, and it was hurting me, and they were making points that were wrong. And it's like I said, it's like it had my arm, and I'm lashing out at people, and I hit people that, I believe people are watching, and they're just lying about the situation. And I think there's enough evidence at this point to prove that out, and that they lied to the police, and that the police were involved, and maybe the police didn't look into it as well as they should have. But whatever, I'm not going to keep getting onto that part. I just want to make it obvious that some situation is going on around me that is not normal and is like causing me distress, right? And it's not something that I can just make go away, right? Like, stop looking at Stephanie Jewston. Yeah, I did for a while, right? Until the thing pops up in my YouTube recommended, like, oh, just ignore it. Okay, at a certain point when it's aimed at me, it's bullying me, it's harassing me, it's causing me problems, there's other people involved. I can maybe avoid her. I can't avoid all the other people. So the way to deal with this is to sync the most powerful thing of it, a woman specifically put in a video game, specifically to taunt and harass me. And, I think the Houston thing is just to make fun of Houston or Jews or me. Because, I'll say this. People always called me throughout school, or at least in high school, they called me Jew. Why? Well, they were supposed to be Christians, and Jesus was the king of the Jews, so I don't know why them calling me Jew, they would, like, they're supposed to be Christians, but whatever. Or like, Austin Jones, Jewkins. He would call me Jewkins because Wilkins, so Jewkins, right? But my whole point with this is like, okay, I like Jewish people. I mean, actually, I feel like I'm the only person standing up for what's going on in Israel, because like I don't think it's right that the Arabs LARPing as Palestinians are abusing, raping, murdering Jewish people for no reason. I think that the way Israel has handled it is very heavy-handed, and they're not doing it very intelligently at times. But I understand, because a bunch of people pretending to be Palestinian causing problems. And remember, Palestine started a war instead of a country in 1948, and they just keep doing it over and over and over. And most people in the West are ignorant and just want to believe like whatever they see on TV. Oh, the Palestinians are oppressed. They aren't even a real people group. When they get DNA results, guess what it says? They're everything else around the thing. They're Arab, first of all, and they're everything else other than Palestinians, because they're ancient Palestinians are not the same. And again, even in the Quran, they're a wicked and corrupt people, and their land is given over to the children of Israel by Allah. And Allah is a feminine deity anyway. So all of that's a knockoff, but even in the Quran, they're not like, they aren't mentioned specifically. They're just the people of Jalut or Goliath, and Goliath is mentioned specifically. But whatever. I just want to get back to this point of like the cat thing. So the black cat, right? And this is a plausibly deniable way that I've asked for her to just speak out directly, but instead of doing that, she's put this thing here, and like talking about a dark secret and expanding within you. I mean, is this whole thing that someone has impregnated some woman connected to me, and like this is just, instead of helping me, they're trying to trap me again, and this is how I'm calling out these witches, which is like, you can strike people using these sexual techniques, and they're just trying to hide and make it plausibly deniable. And like, the end of the Bible is that this thing gets brought out, and all the people that would be participating in this are wicked, evil people that get dealt with very strongly and harshly. So I'm just trying to make a point. Light, if that's you, if you're a witch and you're not wanting to actually acknowledge what's going on, okay, I've made you a really good offer. I literally said $1 billion because it seems like I'm going to get considerably more than that. But if $1 billion and like all sorts of blessing and all sorts of whatever, like I would out resource and whatever any of the people, when this is made up to me. But whatever, I would give as a significant amount of money if she would just end it, because it seems like she could just speak to it and say, hey, this is happening and blah 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 blah. But people stay silent around situations of abuse, and instead of actually engaging it directly, this is what they do. This is like, so okay. But I think part of it is my whole point with the cat thing is this. When I when I posted this, so this she posts this. Let me refresh this so you just see.
Hello, my ladies.
2 hours ago, right? I'm just making sure you get that it says 2 hours ago. Also, chosen prophet. Remember, the Jezebel character is a false prophetess, so I would suggest just don't be that. Hopefully, you aren't that, but okay. Um, and the beast from the earth is a false prophet. So and that's raised by Islam, by the way, according to the Quran. Um, the character in Revelation that's the enemy of all mankind. Okay, that one. Yeah. And the Quran was written 600 years after Revelation, so that should tell you what's going on. So we go here to this, we see this, but you go to my thing and it's like this is what I posted last night in my story, right?
Charlie says always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
This is how I can clown this situation, right? Let's actually reset this back.
Charlie,
This is how I can clown this situation. Also, you can see one of the things I'm trying to let on is a lot of these things I tag people under the story so that in front of everybody they see the story, right? But they don't necessarily see who I'm just specifically directing it to. Because my whole point with this is that people are directing these things to people, but I'm shining a light on how this works because it's toxic that people are still acting like this. And specifically the people that I've tagged, Alessandra and Andrea Ambrosio, are participating. That's the idea of like this mic here, right? If you click this, it's a mic, right? So right? You get it? Because what's going on around this situation is wrong, right? And like I'm made to feel like the bad guy for being attacked, and now like another generation is being brought into the fold. And like when that happens, for a while, I can't even defend myself basically properly because if I'm trying to use my claws and just clown people, because there are people who are doing like evil stuff, like making evil points and using sexuality in ways that's distressing to me, and it's specifically meant to be, and they were set as traps for me to like run like an obstacle to run into, and then to have this kind of situation come up, and I'm sick and tired of it, and it feels really abusive and wrong, and it's hurting me, and it's in turn hurting my family, and in turn hurting if I have friends, it's hurting them. Though I can't get any of my supposed friends to just say that this is wrong and help me with it, and they're making it like, well, what can I do? Supposedly one of my close friends today. We'll see how he responds, but was like, I like, what can I do? Blah blah blah. Like, let's go get food and watch a movie. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go get food in a movie. If you want to come and talk and like help me sort out my problem, that'd be great. Maybe this can end. Then we can watch all the movies and have all the food and whatever. But like, it's wrong that people are pretending it's not happening when in the least at least two people, someone far in the Netherlands and someone here, my cousin Joshua Stone, son of Kathleen Stone here in Houston, Texas, have said this is happening and it's wrong. If people have participated, even Josh or my friends Emilio and Joel Macaluso, Emilio is a friend that I'm talking about that like sent me that where it's like, hold on. And if you don't want this like brought out publicly like this, just engage me properly. Hey, dude, it's wrong that they're messing with you like this. You've been asking for months to help, for help. I'm gonna do it immediately. That's the most reasonable answer. That's the right thing to do. But I didn't get that right, and so I'm just gonna pull this up real fast. So um, Stephanie Justin versus my mental health, right? And I would really appreciate your help with this. That's January 26th. And, I'm trying to do normal stuff, but once this Stephanie Justin stuff became untenable, like I just wanted to play soccer with my friend. Once it became untenable, and like too much for me to bear, I reached out to my friends. And, you know, this is a person who's supposedly my best friend. He didn't just immediately, in fact, he hadn't reached back. He only sent this, "Hey, bud, I saw your message." So I just like, hold on. Did I really? I don't know. I'll finish this video. I just realized that it was on this view, and I don't know if it's been on this view the whole time, and if it has, that's why I'm a clown. Okay, so that being said, it'd be even more terrifying if there's a clown who either knows or doesn't know, but is on the most powerful throne of whatever. So that's that would be dreadful and terrifying, I guess, huh? In any instance, let me yeah, man. All right, hold on. And it's like I don't want to have to do this publicly, but this is hurting me and I can't get help. So, all right, we got this this group. It's a bunch of lawyers pretty much. And connected to Emilio. And I said Stephanie Justin local news story submission. If you click it, it's a 15-minute video. You watch it, and I said, Emilio, if you're my friend, please help. Right? So, like, I would expect that the immediate response is that he's gonna help. And also here's what I'm talking about with the black cat thing. I don't know when I switched views. If I check and the whole thing hasn't been recorded, I'll redo this because I'm just gonna quickly do this, man. Oh man, really? That would be why. Also, if they're losing to me, it's like it is bad because I'm just clowning them because I'm just a dude who's if Jesus is helping me, I can be just a dude and I'm still more powerful than a bunch of witches and wizards and people using really subversive, evil sexual tactics to hurt me. So that's just the reality. Jesus is infinitely powerful, no matter how snaky you are. Yeah, a snake is just a thing to be stepped on and crushed. That's it. Okay. So yeah. Uh, when when he goes, "Hey, bud, I saw your message." Like this was what I was talking about. I sent this to him in Merry Christmas and stuff like that, and then December 26th, I sent him this, and then no response, and then I'm asking if I keep doing this. I'm my bad. So again, hey, laughing cat. Um, Merry Christmas and Stephanie Justin's Matt, and you get the whole story from there. You should, if he watched that, actually, he should be like, man, they're messing with my friend. What, like, why? What did he do? You know, um, and then like I'm asking him to come play soccer again at Toros because we were doing that for a while, and then he moved to San Antonio, and then he came back, and now he's working at South Texas College of Law, which is also like, I understand people have jobs and stuff, but like I've had ton of money, lots of cryptocurrency stolen from me. My car's stolen from me. The crypto has been stolen from me multiple times in multiple ways, in ways that I think are empowered by a thing watching me and pretending that it's not. So, when I sent this to him January 26th, I would appreciate your help with this. And he says, "Hey, bud, I saw your message and I want you to know that I love you deeply and I would love to share a meal or watch a movie. We should do that, but I'm not sure how to help you with the videos you are posting. What do you want done? What do you want help with?" I literally say it in multiple of the videos. I don't know why he is like this. My mom is like this. People telling me to just ignore it or like this, that, or the other. Public accountability. Send my story to the news. Say, hey, my friend's getting bullied. You guys need to do something and cover it. That is like the easiest thing That should come to your head immediately. Like in the thing, I literally do it myself, but I shouldn't have to do it myself. If I saw my friends going through something like this, I would just do it immediately. That's why it is so irritating, and I feel so shitty that I have to do this. But I think Emilio should feel some weight of how terrible this feels on him. And I'm also going to say his mom literally got cancer during this period. He should know that this is a cancerous situation. I prayed for, though, and she got better with the help of doctors and stuff that, too. But I'm pretty sure if I had just prayed for her, she could have gotten better without all that. But whatever. I'm making the point that, like, very clearly people are getting cancer around this situation, around me. And is it because I'm a cancer, or because there's a cancerous situation going on? It's abusing me, and the people that should be standing up for me and loving me, who claim to love me, won't even take a 5 minutes out of their day to actually just let me send this to the news, because that's the obvious like thing to do. Public accountability. Is everybody just consigned to the news doesn't actually cover the news? Well, at a certain point, if there's enough people in the community going like, why aren't the news covering this? Then the news is obviously no longer the news. They're bought off by some other thing. I mean, if that's what it is, well, then that's what it is. But public accountability and help with this is not just necessary, but is the right thing to do. And none of my friends have made the right steps or done the right thing. And I don't want to have to call them out publicly or whatever. I'm not even sure I'm putting this on YouTube. I need to get this out because this venom is like toxic and it's making me feel sick. This whole situation makes me feel sick. Okay, well, this is what I want. I tried to be as straightforward as I possibly could. First, I want you to acknowledge that I'm being bullied and harassed by Stephanie Joost and whoever's using her. Second, I want you to acknowledge this situation is wrong. Third, I want you to help me gather public support to hold her publicly accountable, or to help me gather support to hold her publicly accountable. This is not everything I want, but it's a good start. If you're really my friend, you should be willing and able to immediately do all of these things. This situation is really hurting me. I can't stress that enough. I think it's physically hurting me. I think it's a way you could physically strike someone and hurt them and literally execute them. And it's so shameful that anybody and everybody seems to be participating in this. It makes sense to me of why the book of Revelation is so harsh. And it seems like, why is Yahweh so angry and willing to just hurt everybody? Or not everybody, but do like, why is the thing so much mass destruction? It's like that's the only thing that gets people to listen, because most people are corrupt and evil, and but they don't want to die. I mean, for the most part, and that's what seems to be. There's a lot of that in the Book of Revelation. Why? Because we've gotten to a point where like we're about to hit such a dystopian society. It's like I can't even believe it. I literally can't believe it. I think that's one of the reasons why it doesn't actually work. Is I can't believe that Yahweh wouldn't come in and take the steps necessary to end that. That Jesus wouldn't do that. I believe in Jesus and that He would do that. I don't know if this is a thing because I've been talking shit about the Catholic Church recently because they aren't really a Christian church that I can see, or at least the Pope seems to be saying all the things that would make me look at it and say that's not a Christian, and or he's just a shill for whatever. But the fact that he can't even say, like, the fact that he's trying to say that Ukraine needs to get like surrender to Russia is like, that was a tip. Like, yo, this dude has to be paid off or like connected to some Russian mob or some mobs or something like that, because this dude is not saying anything Christian, and he sits on a throne that allows child abuse of little boys, and they don't actually take any real action against it. It's just a bunch of wolves in sheep's clothing. That's the obvious thing to me. They literally took the name Yahweh out of the lectionary liturgy in 2008 using a papal bull. That should tell you you can't use the name of the God that you supposedly follow in the church services according to the highest authority in that supposed church. Then it's not a church. What are you talking about? I mean, that's like the most obvious. Anyway, so I said, outside of that, I'm happy to share a meal and watch a movie with you. But okay, I just want to reiterate because I don't know what I showed. Black Cat black cat, right? But it's like, oh, well, I guess maybe that's, one thing. And it's like, no, I've been doing the cat thing for a bit here. So if you go through here, and it's humorous to me. I mean, the cat stuff is humorous because what, a little kitty cat's gonna be? A little kitty cat? Maybe it's because ultimately it's the lion of the tribe of Judah, and I'm just making a point. It's like a little cat and a big cat, right? Big cat is lion, a little cat is domestic cat, right? Or a tiger, I guess. But a lion, the lion of the tribe of Judah. So, okay, you got this, but let's go. That's 5 weeks ago. So you can read up here a week ago, right? You were now. You were now tuned into the tomb of Jehovah. Play my tunes loud enough to shake the room. What's that hold up? Heard the world is in it soon. I assume that they told you they trying to dinosaur us. So now it's time to go up. Who's they? I mean, is it the tomb of Jehovah and that these people are against Jehovah, Yahweh? The thing that stands for everything right in the world and like is against, like, it's the thing with eternal life and Jesus' father and stuff like that. Are these people against? Is Vince Staples against it? Is the Gorillas against Yahweh? Or are they saying, hey, you're tuned into my tune, right? And this is the low roar, like a lion's roar or something. But you get what I'm saying? Like, which one is it? But in any instance, you are now tuned into the. So it's just little silly jokes, but at the same time, it's also I'm clowning a bunch of witches and wizards that think they're like, they literally think they're snakes and like, oh, I'm the wizard man, whatever. And they're just like, no, shut up. So what if the cat turns into a wizard? It's like, I'm actually the most powerful wizard. Angry wizard noises. I got my wizard hat on. Ah! You get it? I'm just being silly. He get the girl. Who? Anakin? Oh, am I Anakin Skywalker now? Is that, my Darth Vader? And it would seem like it, actually. Seems like I'm Darth Vader and Yoda, and, Star Wars is just a knockoff that's trying to steal IP from Yahweh. I mean, that's just what it is. A lot of this stuff is. The thing is, you can have these stories and stuff, but you can't have them at the detriment of the thing that actually keeps life going. Jesus has the keys to life and death. He doesn't just operate using death. That's the leadership currently, whatever rules the world now. Satan, the adversary, the devil, the snake, the serpent, the dragon. It's just a person using death like an operating system that they can attack you through. Jesus and Yahweh have the power over life and death. That was the whole reason Jesus died, is to get the power over life. Why? Because he was wronged in a way that is needs to be made up for. He was clearly in the right, and you can't argue against Jesus, actually. All arguments, all things formed against Jesus that comes against him are defeated with logic, reason, and just truth. Okay? That's the whole point. So, because he actually exists and these other deities do not. Or, I guess by the end of it, well, if you're claiming to be a deity and you're not Yahweh, you're going to be in this place. You know what I mean? Something that resembles this. So if that's scary for you, stop pretending to be a snake deity or a dragon or whatever you are. You aren't. You're just a person being used by, some spiritual entity, or maybe even just a computer is using these people. That's what it seems like to me. People are really easily manipulatable through algorithms and stuff, so, I mean, it's not that hard to believe. But in any instance, okay. Me just being silly, right? You get it? This is silly. Why would I take these people seriously at all? Negative thought. And this is my point. So I cast Flaming Butthole. Oops. Spell backfired. I'm now a cat. Please help. It's just a joke. Wait. Negative thought. And then the joke is also, he says negative thoughts. Like negative thoughts that you're thinking, but also who's tagged behind it. I'm trying to say that they're just negative thoughts instead of being positive. They're just being negative in their thoughts, like THOTS. Get it? Okay. But also, disquieting thoughts is literally, one of the things that when I'm talking about serif and like these burning things or whatever, actually some of the ideas negative, like disquieting thoughts. But okay. And then you get it. It looks kind of wizardy because it almost looks like he's holding this orb, and it almost looks like this blends in. I mean, do I just have some powerful AI that's doing this, or am I a wizard, Harry? Am I a wizard? I mean, it seems like no. It seems like I'm clowning these wizards because this stuff is just like I think again, it's just a powerful AI that's empowering people. That's what magic seems to be, and like magic is like a backdoor into it. But like, and the divine things are just like there is a divine spirit that has control over everything. It's not connected to the magic. Yahweh is not a magician. You get what I'm saying? Yahweh is probably, the guy here in Houston, Texas, Matthew Ray Wilkins, that's clowning all these magicians that think they're like, oh, I'm the sorcerer supreme. It's like, okay. Well, it looks like I'm more powerful in this realm that you're talking about, but I'm also just a clown and I'm clowning you, right? But what I'm saying is serious. Like, it's reasonable, what I'm saying, more so than, if the Joker actually came out and was like more reasonable than Batman and fixing all the problems in Gotham. At some point, you'd expect the people to be like, why is Joker considered the villain? You know what I mean? Why is the Joker considered the villain? Batman is just a super wealthy guy. He doesn't share the wealth. He doesn't feed the city. This place sucks. Batman hadn't done anything. What the fuck? You know? But anyway, all right. So I'm just also making a point. I like the hood more than the pointy hat. I wear a lot of hoodies, so I like the hood. The joke here is also okay. We got a blue one, but the joke here is the meteorite is like the venom stone on the side of the Kaaba. The black stone is just a meteorite, and it's literally probably venom from Marvel things. And if you kiss it, it forgives your sins. And in Revelation, the one conquering at the seven churches of Asia, it's a white stone. I mean, it's not hard to grasp what I'm saying here. Also, just like look at the top, the cat. -5. A day ago, black cat. Black cat. I'm not saying that the black cat emoji, if I saw it everywhere, that it would be a sign to me. I'm saying if I see it when I reach out and I'm speaking to someone directly in a video that I make for 5.5 hours, that if they put the emoji in something too, and it seems like they're trying to get these. My whole point with this is that these are it's just a way, it's like a plausibly deniable way that someone can communicate to you without actually admitting that they're communicating to you. So if they want to just pull back what they've said or not actually go all the way through with engaging you in some kind of way that actually fixes problems, they can just be like, what, I wouldn't, it's just a black cat emoji. Sure, okay, well, I mean, at a certain point there's a pattern that is very difficult to deny, and like at a certain point it's like, no, it's impossible to deny. There's no way that this pattern, like the probability of it happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, when, and not just with her but with other people specifically, that's with the Stephanie Houston thing, and with Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio in my story and pictures, it's like, no, there is no way that this is just a random pattern or something, a random coincidence. It's coinciding, but you're trying to make it coincide. You get it? So, and the meteorite. I just want to point this out. When you go to Revelation, and you get at the fourth church, the thing, you get the iron rod and the morning star that I was talking about. Let's go here because also the eyes of fire, that one wizard with the eyes of fire. I mean, that sounds like what's being said here. But I do want to point out the when it's like, I'll give you the morning rod. The morning rod. Morning wood? No. The rod of iron, right? Rod of iron. And then the morning star, right? And the star of the morning. Okay, just making sure. Star of the morning. So of the Stars cartel, right? This is the the brightest star. There's a bunch of distant stars and we call them the stars. But the biggest star that you see, it's called the sun. That's what this is suggesting. Like Jesus is the sun shining in the sky. He's not actually the sun. It's just symbolic. But you get what I'm saying? If other people are stars, Jesus is saying, "I'm gonna make you the sun. You're gonna shine so bright, nobody's gonna be able to come against what you're saying because it's just the light of truth pertaining to the morning, the dawn." Okay, you get what this is speaking of now because we've been in the nighttime and now we're at the early morning, right? The dawn. Okay. Sideros made of iron. If iron, maybe this is the side, the sides. Hey, silence. C, gay? Am I gay? Hiss, silence. Stephanie Houston, the character, quiet. And then, which, I mean, is that, what's going on? It seems to be connected to Alessandra Ambrosio and maybe her bestie Matt. Is that me? Am I her bestie Matt? With one T or with two T's? Well, I got two T's, so I guess we'll see. But when you see here and it says wand or staff, well, I'm a bit partial to the wand. Oh, hey, look, a wand, but also a staff. You get what I'm saying? I'm just kind of making a joke with all this. I'm just clowning them. But you get the rod of iron, the wand, the staff, the scepter. It's spoken of in Psalm 2. It's spoken of in Genesis 49. I mean, the Shebet, Brazil. That's at Shebet, Brazil. And I guess she's lost Brazil, huh? And I get Brazil. Is that why? Was Alessandra Ambrosio bet that, or Adriana Lima, or someone bet that, and it's like, well, you lost it. It could be. But let's look at more of the cat stuff. Just to confirm what I'm saying here, just because he's like, what is he saying here? Well, okay. I shouldn't need to do this every time, but hey, look, I'll give the heathen for the pagans for the nations for your inheritance, the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. You'll break them with a rod of iron, and you shall dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel. Is this the Harry Potter? Yes, this is obviously. I mean, again, Harry Potter is more real than the Quran for sure. In the least, the Voldemort thing where people don't want to say the name Yahweh, but that's not how it works. Not saying the name Yahweh is not going to get rid of Yahweh. That's the silliest stuff I've ever heard. So that's sillier than what I'm doing, and it's just not by me doing what I'm doing. I just disprove it and out silly it. So this looks like it is literally the word Brazil, right? If you flip where the A and the R are, it's the word Brazil, and this would actually suggest this is just Bet Resh Zion Lamed Yod. So it'd be BRZLI. So any of the other letters that are added in are not there like that. So what this ultimately is BRZL, BRZL, right? Iron, Brazil. I mean, that's what it is, Brazil. If you think it's something different, well, you're lying. I mean, it's literally Brazil, Brazil. It's Hebrew is an abjad. You're supposed to add in, it's only consonants basically, and then you add in the vowels. How I think there's an actual like a computer logic to each thing, but people just add in vowels how they want. That's why this says Barzel instead of Brazil. But okay, whatever. And then Shebet, Brazil. The rod, staff, iron, club. Does it say wand anywhere? No. So the Old Testament one seemingly is not a wand. It actually is a staff. But the New Testament one is a wand. The Greek one is a wand. Rhabdos, right? Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear, and then
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. People are starting to notice.
and so this was yesterday too. One moment. Hello? Yeah. Give me a moment and I'll bring the box down. Hold on. I'll bring the box down in a little bit, but it very much is. They are rated for watching this solar eclipse. It's on the back of the box. I'll bring the box down in a little bit, but I'm recording something right now. So I love you. I'll bring it down in a bit. Just trying to like I don't see on the glasses, these solar eclipse glasses, right? Hey, the sky is gonna darken and sounds like something really from the Book of Revelation, right? And if there's a giant earthquake somewhere in a place that maybe struck me, or maybe it's just in Jerusalem or something, well, then you know what it is. I mean, she. But anyway, or somewhere else. It could be somewhere else that has hit me, and okay, you get it. But
Charlie says always tell your mummy.
and then today's. Okay, I'm just making sure that you understand that this is what this is, and this is going on like this, and here's Stars Cartel and the little cat, Laffy Cat. They thought they defeated you. Does it seem like they defeated the little Laffy Kitty Cat? Doesn't seem like it. Also, is Charlie in the Prodigy? Is that King Charles? Is he helping me or is he against me? I don't know. I can't tell. Is he Charles Xavier? I mean, seems like actually that might be it. He's Charles Xavier and I'm Magneto, and this is me in my like little plastic prison. Except I've found a way out, and it's called the Bible, and all that shit is bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So just making sure you understand what's going on, what it is.
Before you go off somewhere. Charlie says always tell.
Also, vet spot, is that veterinarian or like veteran? Like, hey, my dad's a veteran, and I'm in his spot in his household, and they're attacking me, and it's hurting him. So just FYI, okay. And how cats are treated in the Middle East. Even probably a cat that's like calling Islam BS. Well, I can back up my stuff with like an older, more ancient text, which is clearly where Islam comes from. So any of these are just the obvious. Allah is a feminine deity based on how language works. El or al, male. Al with a hey at the end, singular feminine. Allah is a singular feminine deity. That's why I'm saying like one of these women is like a Jezebel beast in the like harlot beast in the harlot type character. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's from like hard rock music from Avenged Sevenfold, or from there's all sorts of the Enchantress stuff that I'm brought up from the dubstep stuff. So I'm just making sure that y'all get when you go here. Actually, when we can just do this, I don't even have to pull it up there. Like all the Enchantress stuff, and like some Beast in the Harlot. Oh, hey, like what's in here? And I'm just telling stories, hopefully with music. Hopefully it makes sense of this for people who might not otherwise believe it. But okay, I don't really have much more to add, and I'm gonna go show my mom that thing. And I don't know, did I miss the whole part when I was talking earlier? Here's lights, whatever. I actually didn't realize she's only been on here for 4 months, but whatever. It says test the spirits. I mean, this is I guess how you test the spirits. But okay. So is her spirit, what is her spirit? Is it really the spirit of the Most High, Yah? Yo? Which is probably more connected to me than anything else? Well, I guess we're gonna find out, huh? But anyway, I'm just sitting here, and there's some cool stuff, by the way. I'm watching this, and there's like some collapse on the sidewalls here, and it's really been active recently. It's almost like there's a great way to visually make the point about the stuff in the burning lake, because it seems like some people harassing me and abusing me are going to be thrown in this place. If you aren't doing that, and I've said it, I'm sorry. If you are actually not against me and what I'm saying, actually, I'm not here to hurt people. That it's like, first of all, I'm not here to hurt people. I'm defending myself. But when I'm caught in the whole right side of my body is being struck by something I'm having to prove out is going on, and that's crippling me and has been, and you can literally see it on my feet. Again, you can see it. That was just my leg popping, but you can see it and you can hear it, and it hurts. It hurts more than anything I've ever gone through, and I've been hit by a car on camera, and I walked that off and skated home. And I was bleeding everywhere. I had glass in my arm and my forehead. The car was more messed up than I was, and I landed on my feet like Spider-Man or something, but like a superhero. I literally landed in superhero pose. But am I a superhero? See, more than anybody else that I've ever seen, actually. But okay. And I'm not here to shit talk Emilio either. I just want to let him know that like I feel really let down by the people that are closest to me, and like I can't just get one of them to go like, yeah, this is fucking wrong. I'm gonna call the news for you. You don't deserve this, Matt. I love you, man. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure no one ever does this to you again, as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? If something was happening to Emilio and he asked for help like this, heart in a heartbeat, faster than a heartbeat, me, faster than a heartbeat to help him. I'd come up with shit myself. Okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Is he doing that behind the scenes? It could be. All these people could be. If you are, what like part of me probably is guessing. I'm just gonna say this, even if I'm a clown that doesn't know anything, part of me guesses that stuff is going on that is being hidden from me. I understand that. The issue is I think that's killing people, including the people you love most, which is why I'm saying stop. You are not supposed to create like some kind of place in reality that I can't see. That's how it's being exploited. That something's fucking with everything. I think some kind of snaky thing is using that in order to like work its way, out of my view. Can I see it in my peripheral? No, I heard it. I mean, it seems like I'm Matt Murdock, the blind lawyer, right? I heard it. Is that the Batman sonar thing? Maybe. Maybe Marvel is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, all this is just BS. There's not. I mean, there's AC and DC. Marvel's AC. DC is DC. I mean, if you put them together, you actually have like both forms of energy, I guess. But this is just tiring and stressful, and I want my friends back if they were ever my friends. I think maybe they were probably. I think Emilio does love me. I just think everybody's treating this wrong. I want my family back. Same thing. I mean, have they hurt me? Have they not hurt me? It seems one of my points is like I'm so obviously different than I was before, and I'm saying exactly what it is, and it's clearly happening. And the woman Stephanie Justin naming the thing like being a part of a thing, Matt with two A's instead of two T's. I mean, is that relating to Alessandro Ambrosio's best friend, Matt with one T, Matt Mazzaferra or whatever? Could be. There's a hotel Mazafera and there's a hotel Alessandra here in Houston. I stayed there once. So did Cara del Toro. Anyway, where she made she made a point to post about it, and like whatever. Maybe she was just staying there for free because they let her make a post. I don't know. Were they doing evil stuff at the hotel? Could be. I mean, people do evil stuff all the time. I just want to get rid of those people and move on to a place where nobody would ever have to go through this ever again. So that's just what that's what I actually want. And I believe like as dark as this situation gets or whatever, Yahweh is brighter than all of it and will deal with all of it in a way that's like, no, you aren't gonna win. It seems like Yahweh is willing to destroy like the earthquake in Taiwan. What do you think that was? Didn't I say something like an earthquake would happen in the one of the videos like right before and then it's happened? I mean, one earthquake has happened. So I mean just at a certain point, it's like, yeah, y'all are killing people that you're like, what? You're gonna blame Yahweh for it? I mean, technically he did it, but it's like I'm saying that seemingly he's doing it because people are fucking with me and won't stop. That's just the reality. The spirit of Yahweh does what it does. I'm not the spirit of Yahweh. As much as just like when this is why this is bullshit. And I never said this, and this is why I'm saying this is perjury, and this is why I'm saying all of this is like a lot of this is built on lies. So just hear me out here on this. When I pull up on the Insane Asylum radio mix and I pull up the cover art, and you see here, it's also really big, so you can really zoom in. There's like a 5,000 by 5,000 thing, and you see here, and it says that I was claiming I was the Holy Spirit of Jew. I mean, I think this is just a Jew hating person who wanted to make a point about Jews or something that he said this. If not, okay. Mr. Wilkins was observed rambling nonstop. Okay, that sounds reasonable actually, but I talk a lot. Okay, but I've never said I am the Holy Spirit of Jew. This is a literal lie. I've never said I am the Holy Spirit of Jew, other than pointing it out and how stupid it sounds and looks and how I would never say it. So, and other parts of this are just not what I was saying or doing, and there was clearly a situation going on around me which was not engaged on any of this. They pretended when I told the people what was going on, they pretended so you think this woman's part of a global conspiracy? And I'm like, it seems like she's thinks she's a gamer and she thinks she's gaming something in reality. They think they're girl gamers and they're a bunch of witches in a coven. Oh, well, we don't believe in witches. Okay, well they do. They believe in witchcraft, wizardry. I don't. I think it's just bullshit. Like I said, it's probably a computer just aiding people in a way it shouldn't. Right? It's probably something stolen from the Iron Rod type situation. Does Iron Rod make me Iron Man? Probably. I mean, it's all this just seems like stuff empowered by AIs. And like, we're at the point, by the way, like I don't even have to, it's just in my thing when I go here. Like I just opened up a new tab and it was the thing that popped up because it's the most recent thing. I looked up chat with RTX because the first time I downloaded it, we go to my downloads here. The first time I downloaded it, it like didn't run. The installer wouldn't work, so I tried to do it again. And then we'll go to this and like let me run it, and like I try to install it, and then even if I do either one, perform a clean installation. First of all, I'll even do this as run as administrator just to make this point. It doesn't want to install. This is hilarious to me because like this is the easy part, the installer. I mean, actually, this is the easy part, getting the installer correct. But okay, so and this is the second iteration where it's doing this, I think. So I don't quite understand how this program but isn't working right, but whatever. My whole point with this is that we're at the point where all these AIs that I was talking about in 2018 in my videos on the YoTV channel just, you know, literally even when I was talking about things that were happening in the summer, this is, what I'm saying, but like on this channel, right? On this channel, Yo-Yo X3, YoTV, Stephanie Jewston, you can very clearly see I've been talking about this for a while and that it's wrong and all this stuff, and that the police, again, this is when the police sent droves of police officers to me instead of handling rape cases here in Houston. If they're mad that I would say it like that because that's what it is and that's what the news is covering it as, well, and that's why they're sending people to come and or whatever, all of a sudden there's a random police car, squad car that like runs its siren outside the window at like a time when I'm gonna be trying to rest or whatever because I stay up late every night, and I'm just off 8 hours from everybody else. So, you know, like anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they're just trying to make a point to me instead of actually being police, like doing police things to like get these people. There's no online police that I can tell. And like, how about this? Make me the admin of everything. And then, you'll probably have better results in reality because I'm not going to stand for bullshit. But and I'm gonna try to get people what they deserve and good things. I guess that's probably what Yahweh is. But anyway, okay. It's probably what the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia is. Look, intro. 5 years ago. This was 2018, August 21st of 2018, and then this is like a few days later, and then we just keep going. And earthquakes. I'm doing earthquake coverage, playing video games. You can see. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just making the point here that it's been going on for quite a while and still not getting seeing any change. But when I'm talking about AI stuff in those videos 5 years ago, it sounds like, oh, that's so far away. That's not like you're not speaking about reality, at least not any reality that makes sense to most other people. And then it's like, okay, well, the only reason I don't have an AI that's doing a number of the things that I was saying the AI would do is because NVIDIA, for whatever reason, the installer doesn't want to work. I'm just like, I think it's actually pretty funny. That's funny to me that it is like literally an advanced AI, but I can't get it to work because the installer won't work, which is like the most basic part of like putting a program out is making sure it installs correctly. I mean, like, wow, that actually is funny to me. But maybe it's just not ready yet, and or maybe I can't do it, but I definitely have a 4090 and it should be able to run it, and whatever. So, and it can do the things that I'm saying where I'm like, hey, look at this video, say how many times this happens, do this, tell me about this, do this, that, the other. It'll do that now. We're at that point, and this is a commercially available technology, and it works for other people, probably developers and stuff. I'm not, you know, probably the programming language that I'm best at using is the Hebrew language. So anyway, I'm gonna end this here, and I don't even know if it's going up on my YouTube channel, but I just need to get this out. So, and that's part of this is like it's therapeutic. It's therapy. Okay, well, I hope that made sense of stuff. I'm gonna go take my mom these or show her this. Look, it does say that ISO whatever. So, I think they're rated as such. Anyway, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. Later. Yeah.